everyone to our June 3rd board meeting. It's really exciting to have you here. I'm going to turn it over to our board chair to provide some opening remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We're halfway through the year. Can't believe it.
Seriously.
Thank you all for being here. Mayor's Fund marks its 25th anniversary this month, and I've been reaching out to our partners to ask them to be involved, and I can tell you there is a lot of enthusiasm. I don't think I've done one call that's gone unresponded to. And we will showcase some of our groundbreaking work at this reception that we will have later this month, and I hope everyone will be able to attend. We're going to share some more of the plans with you all later. Now, I'd like to share a few highlights. You know, June is the last month of the fiscal year, and it's a great time to look back at what we've achieved together. Toya will provide a more detailed update, but let me tell you just a little bit about what we've done. Beginning with Poppy Harlow's in-depth CNN piece on the Crafting Family Connections program for incarcerated mothers and their children. What an amazing piece she did. Have you all had a chance to see it?
Yeah.
Has anyone not seen it? Phil? I suspected. Well, it's pretty amazing, and I encourage you to take a look at it. This program has gotten so much attention. I also had an opportunity to visit with Secretary Clinton recently at the Children's Museum to see one of our family visits. We had many mothers there, and it was a wonderful experience for her and of course the families. And all this attention to this specific program, I talked about it at our last board meeting, has helped us raise $40,000 to support these families and has inspired similar efforts in Kansas and Chicago, which I think is amazing for the short time that we've been up and running. We've also had continued success with our Summer Youth Employment Program. Last summer was the first time our high school students were able to find summer jobs and career employment opportunities that align with what they're actually learning in the classroom. Now this is big, as you all know. To get a job that actually correlates with what their kids are learning, it makes a big difference, and their exposure to future opportunities and reinforcing the skills that they get while they're in their school and still in school. We've been able to reach 4,000 students across 32 schools with the pilot, and this summer we aim to do even more. We're going to reach 7,000 students in 60 schools. So you can applaud if you like. And my final highlight is about the city's effort to guarantee health care for all New Yorkers, which will launch this summer in the Bronx. As you know, Bronx residents who can't get health insurance will get an NYC Care card that will enable them to receive primary care and access to all the behavioral health services offered at our public hospitals and our clinics. And the Mayor's Fund will play an important role in the outreach effort, enlisting community-based organizations to help identify and refer uninsured New Yorkers for screening and enrollment into the program, NYC Care. I am really excited that we're going to be able to do this. I know that the fund does such great work. We're going to reach even more folks in the Bronx who have been typically difficult to reach. Like, we have many underserved areas, so I'm very excited about this outreach effort. After 25 years, the Mayor's Fund continues to be on the front lines of addressing the city's most pressing and complex challenges, doing more than ever before, I'm proud to say. And I want to thank you all for your leadership and support. We've accomplished some tremendous work, and which will all be showcased at our celebration later this month. And with that, I'd like to turn the program over to our Executive Director, Toya Williford, who will give you an update on some of our ongoing efforts.
Great. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. So everyone should have the board book in front of them. We have two programmatic resolutions for your review and approval. First, we'll just start with the approval of the minutes from our last meeting So if you could turn to the first tab of your board materials, you can review the minutes from the last board meeting. Does anyone have any comments or edits to the minutes? If not, can I have a motion to approve the minutes? Thank you, Lincoln.
Seconded.
Thank you, Alexis. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great, motion carries. So we now have approved and adopted our February 7th minutes into the record. So onto the first programmatic resolution, again under tab 1. So as you know, per our fiscal policies and procedures, board approval is required for any program expenditure over $250,000 and for any operational payment over $25,000. This first resolution is a renewal of our contract for $305,000 with Sanctuary for Families. We've partnered with Robin Hood for several years, actually 8, to provide legal services at the Family Justice Centers, which are one-stop location offering comprehensive supportive services for survivors of domestic violence. And those centers, we have one in each borough. The Mayor's Fund and the Mayor's Office to End Domestic and Gender-Based Violence created the Immigrant Legal Services Initiative to foster long-term client economic independence for families affected by domestic violence. So this initiative provides legal immigration assistance to clients in addition to referring them to high quality and culturally competent self-sufficiency services such as job placement and educational training programs. And all of those services are offered on site as well as in satellite offices in the community. So it's a really cool model that we have that allows folks to come together in one location so that families don't have to go again and again and again telling their story repetitively, but they can find those services in one location. So the Mayor's Fund would like to renew our contract with Sanctuary for Families to provide legal services at 3 of the 5 FJCs. The Robin Hood funding currently supports 1 lawyer at 3 centers. Are there any questions about this program?
And did we choose the provider, or were they designated by the funding agency?
They were designated by the funding agency, so when we launched this in 2011, at that point in time, OCDV had gone to Robin Hood, and Sanctuary for Families was the city contracted provider. And so in order to maintain a continuity of services, they were written into the proposal, and so we've been able to renew over time.
Victoria, can you remind me, this covers 3 of the 5.
Mhm.
Does any other project cover the other 2?
All 5 family justice centers have city contracted lawyers, but the Robin Hood funding only covers 3. We've advocated for them to cover all 5, which would be an increased amount of funding, but we haven't been able to increase the funding over the past few
So
years.
they've continued their level of support of the 3.
Correct. It's been $305,000 for several years.
Anything special about those 3 versus?
It provides added capacity, so it's in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. Commissioner, you had a question?
Yes, my question.
Okay.
I was wondering what happened to the other 2 boroughs.
Yeah. Any other questions? Great. Can I have a motion to move this resolution?
So moved.
Second?
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Darren. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Fabulous. That resolution carries. So we'll move on to resolution 2 in the board book. So this second resolution is a new partnership. We're seeking board approval of a contract not to exceed $700,000 with the Center for Court Innovation. The MacArthur Foundation has provided a grant to support the city's work aimed at reducing over-incarceration and the use of jail. So this is a partnership we have with MOCJ. A portion of this funding, the majority really, will be used to support staffing at CCI, and CCI will be working in partnership with MOCJ to look at 2 specific activities. One is to identify and address barriers to diversion in the arraignment process, and then the second is to expand the uptake of diversion. So looking at information and then making sure based on that information folks are taking action. So a little background on this since it is a new partnership. Currently, the arraignment process in New York City, as well as in courts across the country, can often be a barrier to appropriate diversion. This particular plan and our partnership with the Center for Court Innovation will focus on two things. It's going to enhance information gathering and exchange between the prosecutors and the CBOs as well as the judges. And then it also will create a technology solution to better support appropriate and effective pre-trial decision making. So once we collect that information, we're actually able to share it. And then secondly, we want to expand the uptake of diversion. So for the last 2 years, New York City has been implementing an alternative to bail program called the supervised release, which has effectively diverted over 8,000 people who otherwise would have been detained on bail. We estimate that approximately 25% of defendants who are eligible for this program are being released to it, while many of the others experience some period of incarceration. So we want to elevate that number so that folks aren't held just based on bail. CCI and MOCJ will work together over the next year to develop a strategy based in research to increase the uptake of the supervised release program. This will involve a combination of culture change strategies to encourage defenders, prosecutors, and judges to use the program instead of bail, as well as new logistical strategies to ensure that all eligible defendants are screened and identified during the arraignment process. Additionally, the team can work to develop community supervision models for certain higher risk populations who aren't currently eligible for the supervised release program. So we're really excited. It's a new partnership. MacArthur funded some of the initial planning last year, and then this money will really allow us to accelerate that partnership and the thinking around diversion. So with that, we'd like to enter into a contract with CCI to provide these two services. Any questions?
What is MOCJ's role exactly?
So MOCJ is going to be the lead agency in this and working to supervise the staff that CCI will provide. So there'll be staff stationed at CCI. There's also going to be staff working directly with MOCJ, coming in, going to the various courts. And so MOCJ is the day-to-day program manager for the effort.
I would just like, I think it's great. I would just like if someone could let me know more about the tech piece of this.
Yeah,
because
sure.
I was in California last month and saw something they have, and I think it's in 7 states. And basically it's just data they provide to judges, because often judges don't know what the risk is because the data is not collected and easily accessible. For a person with these characteristics and this background, what is the risk of release? Often it's very low, but judges actually don't know that. And so this just makes it really easily available to them. So I don't know if that's the exact same thing they're talking about or something different.
It's not, but MOCJ is working on, we'll be releasing a risk assessment tool later this year. They have something in place currently, but it's being expanded, and it's been in planning and development for some time, and it should be coming out in the near future.
Okay, great.
Great, thank you, Lincoln, for that information. So I'll definitely follow up with you, Deputy Mayor.
And so can you remind me the duration of this, of the project that this 700,000 is supporting?
Sure, the term is 1 year.
Do they have an interest in going beyond 1 year, or is it just a?
There is an interest, so as I said, like, they given us some planning funding, so it was 150 last year, and so this is the implementation funding. And this is part of their Safety and Justice Challenge Initiative, the MacArthur Foundation. So there's definitely a keen interest on their part to support this type of work.
When does it start, or when is it targeted to start? Are we gonna be, I guess my question is really, the laws in bail changed pretty drastically on Jan 1. Are we gonna have data from before and after that we can use to do a kind of longitudinal
So
look?
it's set to start this summer. We literally just got the approval. We're working through the final details with CCI and MOCJ, so I can get back to you on kind of what happens, what data they'll have collected prior to Jan 1. I'm not sure of that since nothing was in place to collect that data. Yeah. Any other questions? If not, can I have a motion to move this resolution?
So moved.
Thank
Second.
you. Fantastic. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The resolution carries. Great, so I will follow up with Janira Thompson about the tech piece, and Alexis, I'll follow up with you, as well as all board members, around our ability to collect data prior to the Jan 1 bail reform. Great. So this concludes the list of items requiring board approval. I'd like to move on in our agenda to provide 2 quick updates, programmatic updates. One on a new agency partner, Health and Hospitals, and a second on a partnership we have with HRA to work with non-custodial parents. And so again, these are just points of information. I just thought it would be great for the board to be aware of some of the diversity of partnerships and investments the Mayor's Fund has going on. So we're excited to embark upon a new partnership with Health and Hospitals, the largest municipal health system in the country. This year we have 2 programs that we launched. First Lady was there in February. One is the Arts and Medicine program, and the second is the Humanizing Healthcare Environments. So the Arts and Medicine program received an investment of $1.5 million from the Lori M. Tisch Illumination Fund. The First Lady joined Dr. Katz, who heads up H&H, and Lori Tisch, who's the founder of the Tisch Illumination Fund, in February to announce the launch of the program. And that happened at Bellevue, and we had a really great tour, we saw some artwork, we got really great coverage. So the goal of the program is to enhance patient experience, employee engagement, and community wellness while decreasing physician burnout and compassion fatigue by capitalizing on the healing power of the arts. So you may not know, but Health and Hospitals has over 4,000 pieces of art, both throughout their, both throughout their facilities, so up on the walls, in the hallways, as well as in storage. And so they want to be able to use some of the artwork to engage residents, as well as implement other programs they have on site. So for example, the Heart of Medicine program is an observation program using the existing artwork to help residents, doctors, and nurses with their observations. So you look at a piece of art and say, well, what do you see? What do you think is being conveyed? And then they can then translate that to when you're meeting with the patient and you're talking to him, her, or they, what do you physically see on the chart, but what do you see in the person? And so really asking them to take a step back. Another program they have is the Lullaby Project, which I really love because it reminded me of the Talk to Your Baby effort the First Lady initiated. And this is an opportunity to work with new parents and help them create and craft lullabies for their children. So it builds bonding, it builds communication. So that's the Arts and Medicine program. We're also working with H&H to fundraise for the art collection. So looking at restoration, creating a catalog system so they know what they have, what they don't have. They actually have some amazing original pieces of art.
Jacob Lawrence. An amazing mural.
No way.
Yes.
No, really?
Yes.
No way.
On the
Yeah.
2nd floor, and
Yeah.
it's
At
it's
Bellevue?
at Bellevue.
Wow.
Yeah, and I know, who knew?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's
Wow.
like a collage of the Bronx, and it is gorgeous and should not be hidden
It's just
away.
like
But it's so
in the
big,
hallway.
they don't know where else to put it.
Wow.
Right.
It's at the dead end of, that was the one we saw with the, behind the plexiglass?
Yes.
So dead end of Bellevue. It's not even, it wasn't even a well-established.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's
Wow.
impressive.
I'm gonna go visit.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, and this is again throughout the system that H&H has. And so we received some modest funding from Ford Foundation to start the cataloging, and we're gonna do some additional fundraise around restoration. We actually had a meeting with Dr. Katz, and he's willing to engage his board to do that fundraising. So we're really excited to have his full buy-in and also the engagement of the board. So that was one program I wanted to share with you. So again, a new partnership with Health and Hospitals, and as the First Lady mentioned, we're also working with Health and Hospitals around NYC Care to do the outreach not only in the Bronx, and we'll move on to all 4 boroughs. So really excited about that partnership. So second partnership I wanted to highlight, I know,
Really wonderful.
yeah, the work was amazing, it was so cool. So our second partnership is our work with MDRC and HRA via the Families Forward program. So MDRC, who is a social policy research entity that the city works with quite extensively, received a grant from the Kellogg Foundation to partner with 4 municipalities nationwide to explore effective approaches that can be integrated into child support programs across the country. And the goal is to improve the economic prospects of not only the non-custodial parent who's mandated to provide child support, but also the custodial parent and the child. So it's really about ensuring that the economic stability of the entire family is supported and maintained. So the model includes a suite of services designated to meet the unique needs of non-custodial parents. We're partnering with the Chinese American Planning Council, Perscolis, Brooklyn Workforce Innovation, Strive, and Goodwill Industries to provide targeted sector-based occupational training and employment services, financial capacity building services, and responsive child support practices. So it's not just about the workforce training and placing folks in jobs or helping them with their financial literacy, but it's also looking within the Office of Child Support to figure out what policies and what interventions were punitive that can be restructured so that the non-custodial parent is more willing to work with a custodial parent. And so we're really excited to have that office within HRA fully engaged in thinking creatively about what they can change internally, but also providing these supportive interventions for the non-custodial parents. So over the course of 2 years, we've received about $460,000 from MDRC. So again, we're one of 4 national sites. We also received $175,000 from Robin Hood Foundation to support this effort. And then because of this partnership, HRA will also be able to tap into a match, a 2-to-1 match by the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement. And so this is a really great opportunity for the city to leverage public-private resources to test out a new intervention model. So again, just wanted to provide that information to you. Is really interesting, and Darren can attest to this. When we were first looking at this over a year ago, trying to convince both HRA and the state about the role of the Mayor's Fund and how we're integral and how important we are to help facilitate these types of partnerships. It's not just about collecting money and writing a check. We're really there to be a thought partner. So we continue to meet with the team at HRA to think through some of the interventions. CUNY is also involved in this effort. So it's a really exciting partnership that we don't always get to elevate. So I thought it would be pretty cool to bring it to you guys.
How is CUNY involved?
So this is the interesting part about it. CUNY holds the contract with the partners. We receive the funding. We're working with HRA to do the policy interventions. We then transferred, this is getting into the weeds, but we transferred the funding to HRA so that they could then tap in to the federal drawdown. And so this is where our intervention and our conversations say, hey guys, let's think about this. How can we make this work, and how can we leverage the optimal amount of funding to make this possible?
And it's, I mean, it really shows the value of the Mayor's Fund. It's always nice when you have a nice, clean funding partner, service provider, agency who's monitoring it, you go out. But something like this is kind of the true value add where you're holding, I mean, just a half dozen or so partners together around a project and having everybody sort of agree to what are our goals here and kind of moving down the field together. It's where partnership is, it's hard, but it's also really rewarding once you get kind of on that plan.
It was really fun. It was really, really fun to do that.
And so MDRC is working on a report. Do we have a sense of timing on?
So the term for the intervention goes until September 2020. And so we'll have some initial findings, but then we'll have a full report after that. So I can continue to keep the board up to date about this intervention.
Has your shop been involved in that?
We've talked to them about that a little bit, but they were, it sounds like this was in the works, so they held off on.
Yeah, like their R&D department within DSS is heavily involved. Like when we have our, I think they're bi-weekly, maybe monthly meetings at this point, it's a lot of people at the table.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So next on our agenda, wanted to follow up on some information that the First Lady provided about our 25th anniversary celebration. So I'm gonna ask Danielle, our phenomenal Director of Development, to come to the table and provide a brief update.
Thank you, Joanne. So So as Toya and the First Lady mentioned, we're really excited about our 25th anniversary celebration on June 25th. We're going to be celebrating this major milestone of 25 years of public-private partnerships. It's going to be a fun and festive reception-style event with foods from all the different cultures around New York City, and a musical performance by Grammy Award winner BB Winans. We're going to be honoring 4 partners in the work. Rob Spire, who has served as our board chair for 13 years, will be getting our Leadership for Service Award. Robin Hood, who was mentioned several times today, will be getting our Foundation Partner Award. I don't think I need to explain why, with all the work that they do with us. Kathy Weil, the president of the Partnership for New York City, will be getting the Business Partner Award. Kathy was one of the major people and partners that helped us launch our Center for Youth Employment. And Safe Horizons, a C2C partner who works with gender-based violence victims, will be getting our Nonprofit Partner Award. We've garnered a ton of support so far from our partners and friends around the city. There's about 3 weeks left before the event, and we've already sold over 25 sponsorships for the event. So we're really excited and hope to see you all there on the 25th.
Yeah, the only thing I just want to add and stress is I think we took a real sense of responsibility, the fact that we're here for celebrating 25 years of good work. I think as anyone who's been a part of this organization for even a short period of time, it's a powerful tool. Like these kind of vehicles that help garner external interest and resources to public issues that we're trying to confront. We all, our talking point all the time is government can do a lot, but it can't do it all, and it can't do it alone. And I think this was a real opportunity for us to look back over 25 years and see the work that launched it and how it evolved during Bloomberg's time and how we've since evolved it as well to match sort of our values and our goals. But really at every step of the way you see this theme of external partners just trying to help New York City and New Yorkers, and that's pretty moving, pretty powerful stuff. So thanks for highlighting it and for taking the time to celebrate it.
Cool. Thank you, Danielle. So next up is the executive director's report, and I promise to keep it pretty short because I know it's a lot of me talking, and I want to get to hear what you guys are up to as well. So, looking at tab 2, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of our financials. So as we close out FY19, I wanted to highlight just a few items. So again, it's not about review or approval, but just wanted to bring information to the board so that you guys are knowledgeable and engaged. I'm excited to say we are on track to raise approximately $29 million in cash and in-kind donations for FY19. So as you see in the first table, we had about $18.7 million in cash receipts as of May 23rd. The remaining revenue stems from an in-kind donation from Swell of $9.6 million. I have my Swell water bottle to showcase, as well as other committed donations. Our top program by revenue continues to be Connections to Care. We're really excited about that partnership. NYC Service, Summer Youth Employment Program, which the First Lady mentioned in her opening remarks, and the New York City Soccer Initiative. The second table under tab 2 shows our top 15 funding partners. And again, I just thought it would be interesting for folks to see who we partner with deeply. So looking at that second list, you'll see that CNCS is at the top, and that represents an investment for Connections to Care, as well as NYC Service and the City Service Corps. Robin Hood Foundation, and that's one of the reasons why we're honoring them, as well as Cities for Financial Empowerment Fund, CFE. They provide a substantial investment for our Summer Youth Employment Program. Also on this list, you'll see MDRC, as well as the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. At our last meeting in February, we highlighted a contract with IDEO that the Deputy Mayor Palacios team was putting forward. And so again, just wanted to be able to tie together what's happening between board meetings. We will bring additional information about contracts that are approved here at the board, so folks can get an update as to kind of what's happening? You guys approved this resolution to engage into this partnership. What comes out of that partnership? And so we want to be able to provide that information to you. So those are the top funders, 15 for FY19. And then the next chart, the final chart, shows total contributions year by year. So as I stated earlier, we're on track to raise approximately $29 million in cash and in-kind donations for FY19. And as you can see, really thrilled to highlight that this is our best fundraising year to date. Want to make note of some of the spikes. I've included some footnotes there. So we have Sandy in FY13, YMI in FY12, and Million Trees in FY8. So those are some of the spikes in funding over the years.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's really, really, really exciting. Any questions?
I have a quick one.
Yeah.
When you were talking through some of the new initiatives, you mentioned that the arts and medicine, I guess through the foundation, was valued at $1.1 million for the initiative.
Over 3 years.
Over 3
Yes, so 1.5 over 3
And
years.
so the 540 in this was just what?
That was the initial 500 from Tisch, and then the 40,000 from Ford.
For this 1 year?
Yes, so it's just this 1 year. And so I really wanted to acknowledge the dedication of our board chair in helping us raise funds, as well as acknowledge Darren as the former executive director. Like, it really is a team effort. Danielle has been amazing, and Fred and JL and everyone on the team. You know, I don't do this work alone, and so the fact that we've been able to elevate and raise this much money this year is really a testament to everyone's hard work and dedication. So I just really wanted to take a moment to say thank you. You're welcome. And so another item I wanted to talk about was the launch of the Civics and Arts Fund. So last week, we announced an exciting new partnership to sponsor opportunities for youth to experience art and performances that advance the city's civic culture. And if you go to our newly designed website that has really great pictures and verbiage, you'll see the City and Arts Fund is there, and the idea is to raise funds to promote civic learning, engagement, and discussion amongst New York City youth and young adults. So we're working with the team at Democracy NYC, with DCLA, MOM, and OSP, thank you Darren, to lead this effort. And the first phase is going to help young adults attend the Broadway play, What the Constitution Means to Me. And it's an autobiographical piece from creator Shrek, who takes a deep dive into our country's legal history and explores the Constitutional's historical treatment of gender. And Darren, did you see the play? I think.
I saw a bunch of folks around in the mayor's office had seen it, and actually, to give credit where credit's due, Brandon from the first deputy mayor's team and Freddie Goldstein came back from an off-Broadway show, and they just said this was an incredibly powerful play. It's the type of thing where we're trying to promote civics, we're trying to promote engagement with our democracy, and wouldn't it be amazing? And there are 2 high school students in this. They play a small role at the end, but they're local high school students involved, and their point was, wouldn't it be amazing if we can get more high school students at this? And they asked us to explore it. So we reached out to the producers, who could not have been more enthusiastic about helping. And now, you know, a month or 2 later, as these things take some time to put together, we're able to launch, you know, this modest but I think impactful effort to bring, you know, several hundred youth from around our city to see a play. But it tapped into, I think, a deeper idea that I know the First Lady's talked quite a bit about, but just the power of art and arts writ large, and just how it connects us to our communities, to our history, sometimes different histories, sometimes shared histories, but just it's a powerful tool. And in a city that has such a depth of arts, how can we not utilize this to sort of better connect and energize and educate others around our city? So really, it was a neat kind of confluence of things coming together. Yeah.
So we're really excited to have that partnership. And again, it's another way to highlight the role of the Mayor's Fund and how we can work with both folks internally and externally to elevate the priorities of our administration. So next, you know, as I shared during our September board meeting, we made a very strategic and intentional effort to expand our technical assistance offerings and to provide more opportunities for partner engagement. And so to that end, this year we've been able to organize 6 funders briefings, as well as host 2 technical assistance workshops for our city agencies. And so we'll continue through that effort into FY20. I think it's really important for us to engage with our philanthropic partners, not only to ask for investments, but also to ask them to join us as thought partners, right? And to ask them to join us to think through what we are challenged with and how we collectively as a team can address those challenges. And so that's really what we've been trying to do with our funders briefings. Another point of interaction is our annual agency meeting, and we have that scheduled for July 25th. I'm really excited that we'll have Greg Schuffelbein from City Community Development. He's the New York Tri-State Director, and he's a really active and engaged partner. He's working with us on the service design studio. He's partnered with us on NYC at Work with MOPD. He's deeply engaged with us with the Office of Financial Empowerment, so really excited to have him there as the keynote. And as we do with all of our annual agency meetings, we also like to have a panel discussion where we highlight a project that folks can really dig into and invite a funder to participate on that panel. And so this year we'll be talking about the Arts and Medicine program. We're hoping to have Rick Luftglass, who's the ED at the Lori and Tisch Illumination Fund. Rick has been in the philanthropic community, you know, I don't know, 20, 25 years. And so we're really excited to have him at the table and to talk about, again, how as a thought partner, this project was brought to the Mayor's Fund, brought to H&H because we all were thinking about this and because we all were at different workshops and conferences, had the opportunity to talk and then develop. And so that will be highlighted on our panel. And the last piece is the Board of Advisors outreach. I also talked about actively engaging all of our board members. Whew, no, it's been a lot. But we've done a phenomenal job. And I'm really excited to say that I have met with or engaged 75% of the board. Yay, I know. Danielle and I literally have been on a road show meeting folks where they are to deepen our engagement and partnership and ask them, why are you supporting the fund? What can we do to deepen that partnership and how can we do more? And so I really think this one-on-one engagement has been the fuel that's allowed us to do deeper partnerships. The First Lady doing the calls, reaching out and engaging, and then me following up with Danielle has meant the world. And so just wanted to acknowledge the hard work that's happened since last October.
A lot of hard work.
A lot of hard work, but the payoff has been
It's
huge.
been great.
It's
No,
been
I
great.
think that they really appreciate hearing from us and you know, us getting to understand what motivates them and what they want to be more deeply engaged with. It really makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all I have for my ED's report for this board meeting. Wanted to turn it over to you guys to see if there were any new items for discussion, new business that we wanted to bring to the table. All right, having heard none, I would encourage folks to look at tab 3. We have some great press clips from past engagements, partnerships. It really, again, shows the diversity of the work we are doing and we collectively at the table. So I want to make sure you guys are aware of that. Finally, we'll have our next board meeting in October, and at that point in time, we'll have finished the audit, and we'll be able to provide that update to the board in October. Anything else? All right, well, having heard no additional questions, I would love to take a motion to adjourn and close the meeting.
Second.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Darren. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Great. Thanks so much, you guys. I really appreciate the continued
Thank
support.
you.
Thank you.